Why would a consumer spend upwards of $1,500 on a luxury Burberry scarf when it offers almost no practical difference from a $5 scarf you can find on SHEIN? Functionally, they do the same thing. They keep your neck warm. In the business world, we call the gap between those two price tags irrational margin. It's the financial value created when a brand identity is managed so well that people are willing to pay a massive premium for it. Now let's talk about your resume. If your job application looks and reads functionally like every other resume on the pile, the only thing that will separate you from the rest is your personal brand. If that brand isn't communicated effectively, or if it doesn't exist, you are the $5 scarf competing against other candidates who have created a perceived value that far exceeds yours. To win elite roles and command a premium salary over the course of your career, you have to stop treating yourself like a generic commodity and start managing your reputation as a strategic corporate asset. Today, in the final episode of our job market series, we are looking at the blueprint to building a professional, personal brand, translating your technical skills into benefits for an employer, and using an interview technique called laddering that will make you the obvious choice over an equally qualified peer. Today on Art+Science. Hey there, I'm Kevin Hartman, Associate Professor at the University of Notre Dame and founder of the Art+Science Analytics Institute, where our mission is to make you a better data analyst. Over the past 3 weeks, we've used a data set of 1,000 entry-level job postings on LinkedIn and 130,000 applications to those roles to reset how you look at the job market. We identified the baseline skills that you need to get your foot in the door. We exposed how to deal with overqualified senior competitors, and we uncovered the low competition niche industries where your skills are desperately needed. But discovering the right market and knowing the right tools is useless if you blend into the background the moment you get an interview. If you've watched any of our previous videos on brand strategy, you know that great brands are never built by accident. They are engineered. Today, we are taking those same branding frameworks and applying them directly to your career. A powerful brand cannot be condensed into a generic summary statement or a basic tagline on your LinkedIn profile. It has to be mapped out using a clear hierarchy. Think of your professional brand identity as 3 distinct layers. Layer 1 is your brand essence. At the absolute center sits that single core theme that encapsulates your professional soul. It is the immediate, automatic reaction people have when your name is mentioned behind closed doors. It must be simple, inspiring, and entirely focused on who you are at your absolute best. Layer 2 are your core attributes. Surrounding your essence are 3 to 5 non-negotiable pillars that add substance to your identity. These are your primary points of differentiation and the bedrock of your value proposition, like your analytical chops, your sales skills, or your communication abilities. If you stopped being one of these things, you would cease to be the professional you are today. Layer 3 is your extended identity. This outer layer rounds out your identity and provides the breadth that prevents you from being pigeonholed into a narrow set of roles. It includes your professional style, your demeanor, and your specific domain expertise. These attributes can evolve over time without changing who you are at your core. But here's the catch. When it comes to presenting your brand identity, making abstract claims like, I'm a great leader, or I'm really good at Excel, is completely worthless without verifiable evidence. To make your brand real to a hiring manager, you must back up these layers, the attributes that you purport, with what we call in the branding world proof points. These are the objective, undeniable facts like your specific degrees, quantifiable revenue growth from past projects, or endorsements from industry leaders. Proof points are the signals that show an employer your brand is rooted in reality, not just a bunch of empty buzzwords. Once you understand your brand pillars, once you know how you want to present yourself, you have to change how you talk about them. A major mistake job candidates make is trying to sell their features. They stand in front of a hiring manager and they say, I know Python, or I'm certified in Google Analytics. But employers do not buy candidate features. They buy the benefits those features produce for their businesses. To make your brand deeply resonant, you have to map your attributes across 3 distinct categories. First is functional benefits. These address the practical, real-world problems you can solve. Don't just say you know Python. Tell them you can write Python scripts that automate data scraping and cut market research times by 40%. Emotional benefits. These dictate how someone actually feels when they work with you. Don't just say that your past clients liked you. Explain that because of your meticulous focus on managing client expectations, your stakeholders felt entirely free from operational anxiety when you managed their projects. And finally, self-expressive benefits. These are the ultimate level of branding. They allow the hiring manager to signal their own identity to the rest of the company because they chose you. Your presence should allow that manager to show the C-suite that their department recruits only elite, growth-minded innovators who make the organization look successful. When you are able to frame your identity around what the employer gains by hiring you, you stop being an applicant asking for a job. You become a strategic solution to their biggest headaches. Let's say you make it to the final round of interviews. Congratulations. It's now just down to you and one other exceptional rival candidate. How do you close the deal? In brand marketing, when we are attempting to elevate our own product over its primary competitors, we deploy a highly effective technique that's called laddering. Laddering means turning your unique strengths into a weapon that exposes a fatal flaw in your competitor's business model. Look at Apple's focus on privacy for a perfect example of this framework in the brand marketing world. Apple blocked digital cookies on its devices, positioned itself as the ultimate defender of personal security. They tout this in their advertising, plop it on their billboards, and present themselves as the one true device that cares about you and cares about your privacy. But here's the trick. Apple makes money selling hardware, not user data. Apple's main rivals, Meta and Google, rely entirely on those cookies to power their multi-billion-dollar ad networks. Because they cannot stop tracking users without destroying their own companies, Apple locks in a permanent advantage that its competitors physically and literally cannot copy. During an interview, you can use this same technique to elevate your own personal brand while simultaneously undermining your competition without ever even mentioning them. For example, if you are a beginner competing against a more senior candidate who relies on 15 years of work experience for a sales job, you can't try to out-experience them. Instead, redefine the rules of the game using this approach. Point out that while traditional practitioners rely on relationship building, your approach leans on data-driven insights using the data tools that you know well: Excel, Python, GA4. These data-driven insights point you to the most valuable accounts, and in that way, you can spend the most time with the company's most important customers based on hard metrics rather than soft gut instincts. Look at what you did with that statement. You didn't just argue that you're a great candidate. You subtly positioned your veteran rival as an obsolete relic of a bygone corporate era. You turned their relationship-driven approach into an unquantifiable gut instinct, while positioning your modern technical skills as the only logical choice for the future. For the hiring manager, the choice becomes clear. To transform your professional reputation into a managed asset this week, execute these 4 tactical steps. First, list your attributes. Sit down and document the 25 to 50 professional skills, values, and past successes that you have. Then, go through the hard work of grouping them into cohesive clusters with clear, descriptive labels rather than generic corporate buzzwords. Next, run those attributes through 3 strict filters. Relevance. Do they matter to the employer? Differentiation. Do they separate you from a sea of identical resumes? And third, sustainability. Can you prove that you have those hard skills? Refine and sharpen your attributes until you can confidently pass all three filters. Next, build your identity. Identify those top 10 attributes that survived your filters. Separate them into your non-negotiable core pillars and your extended attributes. Draft a simple statement that clearly communicates your professional brand essence built around those core pillars, and practice that narrative until it feels natural. Finally, build your signature stories. Focusing on your brand essence and core attributes, write a signature story that proves you own that skill. This story must start with a clear situation, introduce a specific operational challenge or some kind of complexity, and then include a quantifiable, data-backed resolution that you delivered. Practice these stories until you can confidently deliver them during a live interview. We have spent the past 4 weeks tearing down the myths of the modern job market. AI isn't destroying your opportunities. It has simply disrupted corporate planning. Entry level isn't a persona. It's now a budget bucket. Popular industries are overcrowded with job candidates, but positions in niche industries are wide open. Great careers aren't built by luck or by accident. They are the result of intentional, disciplined strategy. When you anchor your technical abilities in the tools businesses actually need, choose the right industries, embrace the benefits of being on site, and communicate your professional brand identity through an unassailable brand architecture, the competition simply cannot catch you. You have the data, you have the frameworks, and you have the playbook. Now, go out there, execute the strategy, and earn the job you want. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, take a moment, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with anyone who you think is interested in data analytics. Here at Art+Science, we are bringing new, exciting, and important videos on data analytics to this channel. We would love to have you there for the journey. Be sure to check out the links in the description for the additional Art+Science resources, and sign up for our newsletter to get exclusive tips, course updates, and more directly in your inbox. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video.